monster. Doing a little scooter work. Alright. We'll start in a couple seconds, you guys. Get ready here. There we go. Get to that. Part 3 on the scoot. Mainly electrical diagnosis. We got to figure out taking this cover off right here, the belt cover. That's a little high up here. Let's bring it down. Okay. Got my Monster, my favorite flavor, Pipeline Punch. So good. Alright. Guess we can start here in a second. Shoot. I'm missing something. Check plugs. Multimeter. Okay, I can't find my multimeter. Multimeter, guys. That's our main thing we need today. We're going to be checking lots of electrical stuff. The turn signals don't work. Basically, the running light system doesn't work, which means when you turn the key on, the running light, there should just be a running light on there. And then when you hit the brake light comes on. right? This brake or that brake. But right now it should be on. There should be a light on for at night, and then the turn signal should work. They don't. And then also the low beam doesn't work. But the high beam, it's not hooked up right now, but the high beam works. So the entire running light circuit is out. So we need to find it powered, kind of see why it's not getting power. And if we can't find the obvious reason why, then we need to tie in our own wire and feed that system. Chinese wiring is terrible. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. So if we don't isolate this stupid problem, then we'll tie in our own power. So that's what we're doing right now. And we're going to take this case off right here. Take this cover off. We're going to also eliminate the kickstart system. It's junk. All the kickstart system I don't like at all. Should be no excuse why you can't just use electric start. So I usually eliminate those, and it takes out some weight, and also takes out the possibility of this failing. It can break the chain that's inside the motor. So if you break the chain inside there, then you need a whole new motor. So I generally talk everyone out of having this, and if I take this cover off, you take out the kickstart system, and then you just rely on the electric start, which is no problem. So that's what we're going to do on this scooter too as well. We're going to eliminate the kickstart system, so it's only electric start. What else do we need here? Okay, we need to take this headset off. Let's see what we got in chat. Kind of just started here. Let's say hi. All right, let's get started. Got my monster, dude. Let's go. We need to take this headset off because we need to get some more electrical stuff. So it's basically we've removed every single bearing and plastic on this whole bike. Basically. Also remember these ones specific for this. Oh man, tight on. Oh my God, dude. Come on, babe. Holy moly. Oh my God. Man, that's terrible. Oh God. That's terrible. The back ones right here. I think that's it. take this thing off. Uh-oh, we're missing something here. Maybe not. There we go. Okay. And we'll undo it has a physical cable for the speedometer. We'll undo that just for working on it purposes. So there we are. There's the whole front. And nothing's lighting up. Nothing's lighting up on this either. Let's see what we got. It's actually on right now. I'm just going to keep it on position. So when we find, if somehow it's a loose wire or something, while we're working on it, this should light up. Something should light up. I'm going to put on one of these turn signals too, so that if somehow something goes on, then we'll know it'll fire up. We have horn. We have the electric start right here. So we'll leave this on right here and see. We are going to unplug and plug everything to start with. I'm going to get out some dielectric grease, which is just some clear grease that goes on the connections that makes sure the connections don't get corroded. So we're going to unplug and plug pretty much everything on here and see if any of that makes a difference, see if we can get some power. There's nothing obvious, nothing cut. This is the nightmare of Chinese scooters. So we have a whole system failing with power, but everything's plugged in, nothing's cut. And you're like, well, wow, why is that? Why? And so you'll never know. Chinese stuff is terrible. So we'll try and figure out where the failure is, and if not, we're going to tap into another plug that will give us power, and I'm going to tie that into the system so we have power in the system that's failing right now. So, but I'm going to try and find the problem and see why. But I had to do this for my last scooter. I had to tie it in. The last scooter I just sold was such a pain in the butt. Everything was failed on it. I had to rewire the whole system. So this one's being a kind of pain too, so we'll see what's up. Let me grab some dielectric grease. Whoops, that's in here actually. So this is it kind of, let's see. Is this it? Kind of see what that is. Permatex dielectric grease. You can use it on battery posts too as well. So we'll get that out. Let's get a paper towel out. Wipe our hands off while we're doing this, because we're going to go through each plug and wipe some stuff on it, and bit by bit we'll see if we can make any difference here. Oh. Make sure you guys hit the likes up, thumbs up if you come in for the YouTube algorithms. Noose, thank you for coming in, buddy. Hey, it's always going in my head, so it's always a remix of Goodbye Horses floating through my head at all times. You guys know this. I usually listen to that song like at least once a day. Right now, I've been in a mania for The Cure, Pictures of You, and The Forest. So I've been in a 1 month mania for those two songs, going crazy. Can't stop it. Alright, so let's look at this and see what we got here. So it looks like a green system. I'm trying to look at the wires here and see what we got, what each one does. So we got 3 right there. Looks like like that. difference. The bike is on right now. Turn signal's on, so if it starts working, then it'll go. Oh, you know what we need to plug into is the headlight, just for testing. Uh-oh. Put that down here. Just pop that right in there. We don't really need that in there, but kind of want it anyway. Alright, then unplug this, plug it back in. Oh, jeez. That's the ignition. Take out 4 wire right here for the ignition. Still no power. Still no power at all to the headset. Undo every plug. Blow it out. I may not put dielectric grease on it. This is not a good sign, so it's like complete failure of a system here, but all the wires are perfect, nothing's been cut, nothing's altered, and it's not because a component failed, like, well, I'll just buy this component. Like, no, that won't fix it. So it looks like this will probably be one where we tie in our own, we have to bring our own power. Okay, what do we got here? No difference here. Let's see, we got a horn. Yep. Motor turn over, no problem. I'll probably undo the headlight. Well, no, we'll leave it on. It's kind of in the room, or in the way here. Let's see. Ignition. I don't see any difference in anything back here. We got brake light. We got brake light, no problem. We're looking for this to come on all of a sudden too. I will look at the bulb. Maybe when in doubt, check the bulb. Let's see if the bulb burnt out in the back. Let me go look at it at the bulb right here. So I'll look at it in the light here real quick. Oh shit, you guys, we got a burnt out bulb. So that'll do it. This is a 2-filament bulb. So basically one part of it lights up when they turn the key on, and the other part lights when you hit the brake light. So the bulb's burnt out. So that's good. So that'll be fixed. Now we need to get this bulb. I'll look for this bulb. And then we need to get the turn signals working. Alright, you guys, so we fixed one of 2 problems. Well, let's get the bulb out. Let's find a bulb right now. Shoot. Where's that going to be? It's kind of like the same as a car bulb. Little brake light bulb. I don't know where I'm going to get that. Here at my house. I could rob it from my stepdad's broken down Mustang. I could take the taillight out and steal the brake light bulb. I don't know. Hey, if I do, I have an alibi. I did not do that. guys tell me if the sound is bad. I'm using an external mic hooked up to the phone. Tell me if the sound is bad or not. Okay, so we need to find a bowl. Let's look for a bowl. That's very good news. One bowl, car bowl. See here, looking for a bulb in my car stuff. I don't know. Brake light bulb. I might have one. Good possibility. It's not looking good with that. Shoot. Okay. Probably not. Alright, we'll have to buy one, but yeah, so it looks like the brake light will be fine. Just need to buy a little couple dollar bulb. And that's good. But I want that hooked up to kind of test the system right now, but okay. That doesn't solve other stuff though. We have no power to the dash. So at night when you turn it on, there's supposed to be all these lights. Everything's supposed to light up on that. So why does this whole thing not light up? Lights over here. It's like this whole thing's whack. This whole system's whack, man. What is wrong with our orange, brown? So look at brown, orange, brown. We're looking at brown up here. So I'm looking at the wires up here, trying to find out which wires are positive that are going to have power on, and the lights. So this stuff needs to light up right now. So at night, so this needs to light up. So it looks like the brown wires in here. Kind of trying to track stuff. Chinese wiring is so crappy. It never makes sense, and it changes like. And if one plug goes to another plug, then the wire changes after that. It's just ridiculous. But it looks like here. It looks like, yeah, it looks like brown. Brown is the wires that we need to go on. Green is ground. I got green connecting to everything in here. But sometimes the Chinese are retarded. So sometimes green can be ground, which is terrible. I mean, green can be power on a Chinese system. So green is ground. Brown right here. Got brown right there. Brown to this middle one. Brown to that. And those are going to be the lights that light up this thing. So we know brown needs to have power. When the key turns on, brown is supposed to have power there. And then these other ones are turn signal, and high beam. So we don't worry about those. So those don't light up until this is moved. So that's a separate thing we got to figure out. Figure out the high beams. And then this dash thing, there's supposed to be some power to this. The power's on right now. So we've got nothing going to the little digital gate that shows stuff like that. So let's see what we got there. Digital gauge is a whole nother plug, and I already unplugged and plugged this already. And that's fine. So you're like, why does every wire here is perfect? So like, why is an entire system failing? That's why people don't work on Chinese stuff. Because it's terrible. So we have a whole plug here, and here's an example. So here's 3 wires, right? 3 different colors. Well, the ones they go into are different colors. So you got a black wire here going into green. You got a yellow wire turning into black, and then you have a red with white wire turning into solid red. So that happens all over the bike. So it's like good luck, and you won't find a wiring diagram online for this, so you won't get that. So just wing it. That's what they expect you to do. So we'll figure that out. So most likely the red wire coming in, because we need to figure this digital thing out. So most likely it's supposed to have power coming in from this red wire. So we know brown needs power. So we go up here and figure out what brown is on this plug and what it turns into, because brown's going to turn into something. So okay, so brown turns into yellow in the main harness. See what I'm telling you guys? So now we go into the main harness, and we're going to be looking for yellow. So somewhere yellow is not getting its power. Now we also got other yellows in here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the only yellow going into the system. Well, except for another one here. Oh geez. So this might get gnarly to figure out. So we got a problem with yellow here somewhere. What's this? I know the brakes work. The running light does not work. But that's because the bulb is out. So that's fixed. I don't have a bulb, so we're just going to assume that works. But then how come the low headlight? I guess we can check that. Well, the low headlight doesn't work. That one need running though. The headlights won't go on until the bike's running. The bike won't be running now. So that we might have to save till the bike's running again. The low beam. We need to figure out the low beam. Oh man, what a mess. What a mess, you guys. Alright, we got all alternator. This is the alternator wire coming up. No problem. It's charging good. That's not a problem. And then this is the choke. This is the wire for the choke going to the carburetor. Everything else is looking okay. Nothing else is turning on. No turn signals. Yikes. Yikes. This thing, well, at least we got one thing already. We know that the brake light bulb, the running one, is out. So technically, if that's fixed, then this will be able to drive at night. It'll have a light on in the back at night, and it has a high beam. Now, it may be that because the running light is out in the back bulb, maybe if that's burnt out, it won't complete the circuit for the low beam because they're on the same thing. So as soon as you turn the key just on, not starting, but as soon as you turn the key on the bike, the rear light turns on and the low beam should turn on, depending. Some scooters, the headlights only turn on when the bike's running because they take so much power. But they're generally on the same circuit. So we'll have to figure that out. VP! Who do we got? G Productions, thank you for coming in. VP, I love you, babe. Hang in there. Spooky stories, dude. Supposed to do them tonight. I'm thinking Mothman or Slender Man. I had gnarly root canal yesterday, so I might postpone spooky stories because my mouth's still hurting, man. So we'll see. I might postpone for a week. Okay. Let's see now. Okay, so now we need to start testing and see, is there power going to stuff? And we know that the yellow wire coming into the main harness is supposed to have power, and it's not. Oh, what a pain in the butt. Drinking my Monster so I can stay awake. Okay. So I know the brown system's supposed to be getting some bolts, and it's not. And I know all those bolts that burn out, so all those browns are connected together in one thing. So brown becomes yellow. Alright. Yeah, we determined that. So brown becomes yellow into the main harness, and it goes down here. Ties into here. Now we'll see. It's into the ignition. It goes down here. Okay, it ties out to the main power. We got that. Main power from the bike is right here. And it goes into a fuse, and then out to the main bike. Kind of a small wire for power, but and this goes to the starter solenoid. Excuse me. So when you hit the starter button right here, that sent. As soon as I hit that That's a switch. This is a little switch that triggers a big switch right here. It sends power from the battery straight down through this into the starter right here. So this is a bigger wire because it takes a lot more power to go through to start the bike. But the main power is right here through the this little wire, and it's got a fuse right there for the whole system. And is our fuse good? Let me look. It should be. You know what? I may put a new fuse in there. I don't. I'm not professional, so I don't have a flashlight. Let me see. Don't see any problem anywhere. All the wiring is so fresh and good. It's like, how could half this thing be dead on electrical? That's, man, that's Chinese stuff. Okay, looks like well, we have a bad fuse. It was good before. Now look, it shouldn't even start. It shouldn't even start if it has bad fuse right now. So maybe we got some weird. Maybe, man. That's definitely bad, okay. Let's put this, we got a new fuse right here. Inside these are pretty neat. So inside these, this is where the wire goes, but they also will hold a spare fuse. So just kind of, hold on. Just kind of pop this out real quick like that. And so I got my little spare in there, and you keep it in there with it. So if that happens while you're riding like shit, you need a spare fuse. You got one in there. You could almost fit two in there, but you just pop it out, put it in there. So let's do that. We got our spare fuse, and it might not be enough. Let's see what amps it is. It should be like 10 amp. Let's see here. Okay, generic Chinese, so it doesn't even say the amps on it, so like good luck. So we'll pop this in there. I hope our system returns, but it may not be that easy. We'll see. This fuse was good before, so that's blue. Alright, well I don't see anything on now. No. Hopeful thinking. Okay. Yeah, nothing turned on. Oh, it's really hopeful for that. That's weird. So I wonder what blew that fuse out. Obviously, things were still operating, even though the fuse was blown out. And now it's a new fuse, and still stuff doesn't work. That's kind of weird too. No turn signals. Now, we got a turn signal relay. We also have a regulator rectifier we can check. But mainly we need the dash. Mainly we need this stuff to turn on. The digital and the 3 lights. So, oh man, what a pain in the butt. So terrible. rear brake light bulb, you guys. Shoot, I probably do somewhere in this garage. Let me check chat real quick. So we did find one problem. So it didn't have running light in the back, and it's just because the bulb was out. What we got here? Be Rabbit. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Just working on a little Chinese GY6 scoop. What do we need to check? We need to verify things here. What we need to verify is that main power coming in here and see where it's going. Something funny is happening here and we're missing power of the system. So we're going to start checking the main power. This is the main power of the bike. The only power for electrical. This wire right here, like I said, goes to the starter solenoid, which only goes to the starter, nothing else. And then this other wire right here is the trigger from the starter. So when you hit that, it goes through there, triggers that, and lets that. So that's separate. So here's our power. We did fix the fuse, but still no difference. So we got a fuse in there. Still no power. Here it goes into the main system and goes up. We need to figure out where it's going and where it's tied into, because obviously it's not feeding one part of the system that should be. Now this will be power on all the time. So since it's connected to the battery, whatever this red wire is hooked to will have power all the time. So this is going to go into something in this bike, and usually the key switch, to where when I turn the key on, the other wires now get their power, and that's not happening. So it might be we just need to do ignition, a key switch, because it's not, when I turn that, it's not touching the right thing. That's probably what's happening. We're probably going to order ignition. It's so cheap, because when you turn the switch, a whole system should turn on. So that's probably the problem, since all the wiring is perfect. This part is literally like $15 for a new key switch. So I'm probably just going to do that. I don't want to dig into this bike too much and have to make my own wires, because that's probably the issue. Everything else is perfect. That is what affects this system. So you turn the key switch on. So here's power on all the time. It goes up there. It feeds the main system. You turn the key on, right, and then it triggers power to a whole nother system, as well as triggering power so that you can push the start button. So key off, obviously you can't start it, right? And then here's one click, you can't start it, can't do anything. Second click, now that's on, I can start it. I should be able to do turn signals right now, but I can't. But I got brake light, which the bulb's out, but the brake light works, no running light. Oh shit, let's take this out of here, you guys. We don't need this. Oh jeez. Let's take that out. Give me that back. So we need to cut into more stuff. Let's see here. More power. This coming in. Oh yeah, and this we need. We need to tie into this real quick. Okay, this is the whole switch right here. Oh, let's see, maybe we got a problem right here in the connection, so it might be the actual ignition here turning, or it might be the plug, but we checked the plug already. We checked the plug already, but it might be an issue. Oh, I think I may have seen the problem here. Let's see, there's something here. Okay. No. Okay, so, and still no power here. We should have lights. This should light up right here, because it should be like right now, if we're gonna go right at night, then this should be lighting up, and it's not. So the total failure of a circuit, I'm gonna measure the plug or the wire coming to this, and let's see what we got for power coming into it. Might have to get a notepad out here and start writing notes. So let's write some notes so we know that basically the brown lights turn into the yellow into the main system. So brown lights turn into yellow in the main. So that's what we were looking for before. From this headset here, we identified that these are the illumination. These light up the whole thing. This one, these two middle ones, or the one middle one, and that one, light it up so it's lit up. And each of these is brown, and that's going to be the positive. And that turns, and the brown goes here, and then it turns into yellow into the main harness. So we know that yellow in the main harness should have power. When you turn that key on, there should be power going to this brown, and that would be coming from the yellow wire. So we'll just disconnect this and see what's going on. And the whole digital thing, this whole digital thing right here is right here, this plug, which is probably red. So it's like, okay, how come red has no power? So we got red no power coming in, and brown wire. Like, oh man, this is just Chinese, man. Jesus. Who uses brown for a power wire, guys? It's supposed to be red, you know what I mean? Look, if you're doing electronics, negative is supposed to be black, and red's supposed to be positive. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, we don't need that plug. We do need to test that. We need to test the yellow. So we need a ground. Put this up here to read stuff. And we'll take black. We can ground it on the frame, a non-painted surface. So it has to be. Well, we can go right down to the ground, to the negative right here. So hook it to the negative on the battery. And now we're ready to do testing. So I can test all these 8 plugs right here to see what has power now. So this will be power when the key is turned on. Let's see what we got. So orange. Nope. And the yellow system, no. And it kind of should. It's supposed to have power right now. Nope. Okay, we have power on black. Great, that makes that's terrible, no sense. So we have power on black. Let's see right here. Where's that going? Okay, yeah, that's terrible. Black should never be used for like the color of a power wire. So we have power to black. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. That's it. Well, black and another one. Okay. This other bottom one. And red. Let's confirm again. Okay. Power to red, power to black. So those things are power when the key's on. Now let's turn the key off and see if we have power to anything. Hold on, you guys. So turn the power off to the bike and see what we have power on any of this stuff. Probably none. Oh, we do have one. Okay, so power off. We have power, so red right now. So red has power no matter what. Key on or off, this is a hot, that's what they call hot. So red right here is a hot wire. And black we have turning on when the key goes on. Let's check it again. So we hold it on there, and then I'll turn the key on. There goes black. You can see right here, 12.72, so let's set this up a little better. Okay, so we know black has power coming in. Now let's check this plug and see what's getting power. That's only one thing getting power when you turn that on. Otherwise, red has power. So let's look what it's connected to. And so it's red is connected to, okay, red on this too as well. So we know red has power all the time on this. Coming in, okay. So we got red right here. Red has power into this plug to this. So that has power on all the time. So something's wrong there, because then the clock should be on all the time. There should always be a clock reading in that. And then when you turn the bike on, it gives it, when we turn it on, it probably should be either yellow or black as another wire that should turn on. So clock all the time, and then you turn it on, it should be like a little light or settings, you know, you show miles. It should show all your miles and stuff. So we know the only thing getting power on this, because we know the red, we trace the red. So there's the red wire in there. Right? So only the red's getting power coming in. And that means only this little clock. But it's still not going on. So something else is going on. So we don't have so we don't have ground. Maybe we don't have proper ground to the system or something, which is all these greens. So maybe it's not grounding here. So either not getting power or we're not getting ground to the entire system. It could be either. But we know we're getting power here all the way to here. But nothing's coming on. So we might have a no ground situation on this bike. Some of this stuff gets kind of technical, you guys. So just ignore it. Like, this is supposed to be a, do a DIY kind of stuff, and I do it kind of as much layman terms as I can. But some people will be home with their scooter trying to fix their Chinese stuff, and they'll be like, man, they want to know details. So don't worry about the details if you're just watching and not concerned. But I'm trying to make it a serious video so people can fix it. They need all the help they can get for these
Scooters, man. What do we got? Hypervigilance. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Yep, scooter time. Honda Monkeys. What? I don't think I've seen that. What? KLX 300s. Yeah. Yeah, these are just blue glove, 7mm from Harbor Freight. Like $15 or so for 100 or 50. Yeah, we got power out in the system. Basically, no running light coming on. We got no turn signals. We did fix it had a burnt out bulb in the back. So that'll probably, but that may not work because the running light system is not working, which means when I turn the key on, I should be having dash lights. All this stuff should turn on when I turn the key on. But let's try again. Let's plug in and see what we got, if anything changed. But just for a quick second. But we know we're already turned on right here. Nothing's changed. No turn signals. Should be lighting up right here. Turn signals. So nothing going on there. So we know red has power coming in all the time, and then black when it's turned on. So let's figure this out. So this plug has black when the key's turned on. So that should be triggering stuff in here. So it goes into here. So look, we'll have to match it up over here and see what. So retarded. So Chinese stuff's so terrible that the colors change. Every plug, the colors change. Instead of just being the same damn color, the entire thing like everything else is. No, Chinese retarded. So let's see what black turns into. So retarded. So we know black right here has power. So when I turn the key on, that black wire has power. When I turn the key off, it doesn't. That's what we're looking for, stuff like that. So black, what does it turn into here? Let's match it up. It turns into like a charcoal. Let me look here. Okay, does it actually turn into black? We'll look down here. Okay, we have one black wire. Okay, so that's that. Oh, we still have a problem. So that should trigger the clock or something. So red wire is working all the time. Black wire is triggered when we turn the key on. Both of those go into here, and then the yellow should be the ground, really. The yellow should be the ground. So everything should work. So maybe we don't have a whole ground system going here. But that's weird because this is kind of separate. So green, it looks like we may have a ground issue because we have green right here turning into black. So everything's checking out on this plug. This might feed the entire system right here. So we probably know ground. So if I might supply my own ground to the green system, right? And then it might fire up. Everything might light up. So it looks like that's the culprit. The ground system's not firing up. Now let's see what all this hooks up to. Give this back and look. We only got one green. All the greens tie into each other. They're all wired together right here. All the greens, and that's basically like if they're all tied together, that's usually a power or a ground system. So all these greens are tied together for one ground wire right here. Green, and then we'll see what green goes into. So let's trace right here. We got green on this plug. I don't know if I'm holding this up enough. Okay. So we got green on this plug, supplying ground. It should be supplying ground for this entire system. Let's plug it in and see what wire it is over here. Coming from the main. This is the main harness. So we're gonna look at it. Green right here. Green is underneath in the corner. Let's line it up and see what we got. Okay, luckily it's the same color on the other side. So we should be having some ground from this green wire. Trace it back, and there's a couple different green wires. Now we have to cut this stuff up here. Kinda gotta let this stuff be free right here. There we go. We'll sit tie it up later. So from this plug, green wires coming in. There's a whole bunch of green wires. Now the Chinese are so terrible, you don't know what that's gonna turn into. So here we have a green wire turning into a couple black wires. Like, oh geez, where does that go? All over the place. Like, man, okay. And here's a bunch of green wires here. Those may not tie into green. So looking down the main harness here. Now I gotta separate everything. You gotta take all the zip ties off here so we can get to all the harness here and just get everything out. So we're looking for green. Now look, here's another green. This may be the culprit. Might still be this. The culprit might be the ignition switch, because this is one of our 4 main wires here. Is a ground wire in the switch. So if the actual key switch in here, it's got little copper things it touches. It moves and it touches different pathways. Now if it's corroded or it's not touching, then it won't ground or it won't get power. So I'm still leaning toward a $15 key switch as our problem, because that's our main green right here, and I don't think we're getting ground in the system here. It's green and black. I think pretty much the ground system on this bike is green and black, and I don't think we're getting ground. Now let's go back here and look from the battery. This is our ground right here, black, on the black side of the battery. Now let's look at the frame. Let's look at the frame. Okay, it's connected to the frame. Look, it looks all right. It's got a couple connections here. Now here's a green wire. Here's a green wire coming right off and right into the main wire. So that's right on the frame. So that might be the main green wire ground for this main wire, for the main harness here. So let's look back here and see. I don't see any problems or why it would be grounded. What we can do is loosen up. We'll loosen up that bolt and then tighten it up again. Maybe this is corroded. Sometimes you just got to move that. Sometimes you just got to move that. The bolt. So we got a 10 millimeter. Ouch. Okay, kind of move that stuff around. Tighten it back up again. I don't know. You know what? Let's tighten this. I think it's grounded all right. We can test up here too, at the top, and see if it's grounding. Okay, so what are we thinking here? So we're thinking that it's not grounding. So we want to confirm the
main ground wire here. So I just loosen the bolt up and tighten it just to make sure. Maybe the connection's corroded, you know, so kind of scrape it. It seems to be good here. I might take the whole thing off and scrape it because maybe somehow it's just still not connecting good right there and not getting, because what we're thinking here is the ground system's not touching. So that's what I'm looking for, issues like that in the system. Alright, let's see here. Hold up here. Alright. Our main power right here. So main power to the whole harness and the main ground to the whole harness, all coming in right here. And that feeds the entire system of everything. So yeah, I think our key switch is the problem still and not supplying us. Oh, we have an issue here. Okay, I think I may have found something. The back of the ignition switch here has a loose screw, so it's moving around. So it won't make, that would make it not contact. But still though, I don't see any lights. Hold on. That could very well be the problem. Let's check it. That could very well be the problem. Hold that there, that's that. No. So that's definitely gonna be an issue. So let's take the whole, I'm gonna take the whole ignition switch off so we can take a look at it. And I might take it apart so I can look at the actual contacts. Basically it's a round thing in there, so it's like four wires go to 4 points, right? And then it just goes chink, moves to the next thing. But the whole thing right there, the whole thing right now is loose on the back of it right now, so that's most likely an issue. $15, $10 to replace. We're getting a new key ignition. We're getting a new 30. We're putting a racing carb on there. What do we got? Hold on, let me check this out. The new BMW 04. I haven't seen that. And 2023. I haven't seen that. Hey Justine, good to see you, babe. Good to see you back in. Yeah, I'm trying to do ramp it up. White newbie, and you better be nice, buddy. That's not a Vespa, buddy. It's a GY6, just a Chinese sports scooter. Bye, Justine. Tamara. I got the scooter from H Tombs. Forensic scooter exam. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going deep electrical BS right now. Deep electrical BS right now. So we suspect right now that we don't have ground for this whole system. Because we got nothing lighting up. The low beam doesn't work. The turn signals don't work. The dash, we should be having, it should be recording them. Well, records the miles there, but you still have a trip odometer and stuff right here and a clock. So none of this lights up. Turn signal bulbs right there, high beam bulb there, but the actual lights right here, that's 1, 2, 3 right there, these 3. So I'm seeing a problem. And we tested that. Remember, you guys, we tested the system, so we know that the main wire red, that's hot all the time coming in, and we know the
the black wire goes on when you turn the key on. I might test those from the back of here too. Let's do that. Just to make sure somehow it's not going through the plug. So let's go ahead and hook up ground. So we'll put ground back on the battery. So hook the ground back onto the battery right there. And our positive lead, so we're testing here for power and stuff to make sure power goes through here like it should. So we know that red's hot all the time. Let's make sure it's going through there. Oh, is it not? Oh shoot, you know what? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? What? It's not going through that plug? Well, that'll be an issue then. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, let's test. Oh, okay. No. Our plug came out of our tester here. Jeez. All right, we're good again. Let's test this. So we better have power right here. This we do, 12.93. Okay. We better have power on the black because the key's turned on right now. What? We don't? Oh, we better. That's what activates the system, you guys. So let me check this. This black wire better be going on right now. Nope. Well, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a whole issue right there. Let me see. Let me see right here. Or are we yellow? Hold on a second. Hold on a second here. What do we got turning on? Okay, red all the time. We got that, so it's on. Anything on yellow? Oh, yellow's got power too now? What? Okay. Okay, so yellow gets power when you turn it on. Okay, red's power on all the time. Yellow gets power when you turn the key on. So those are good. So that's good. That means to this unit, it's getting its things it needs. So constant power, which will show you the time on there. Yellow when you turn the key on, then it'll start showing your trip odometer and whatnot, and all these lights should turn on. So it looks like ground is an issue over here because we have our two different power wires, red and yellow, are good. So the other one is ground. So we'd say, where is our ground then? Where does that turn into in here? So we look at the switch, because of course it's going to be retarded, not make sense. So of course this ground, this black turns into green. Yeah, that makes, instead of the black. Yeah, see, that's why people don't work on this. So we want to know why there's no ground here on this green right here. Let's check in here. It should ground out and it doesn't. Let me see. Let me go to the ground. No. Oh. So black. So we see black coming back here. So which direction does this go? So we'll look right here. So we verified both of these coming in. So we verified yellow, which on here is black from the system. Man, that's so confusing. So black is our wire that turned on when the key goes on. Red comes in all the time, verified. So green right here, we're having an issue. Why does that not go on? Let's confirm again. There we go. Turn the key off. Yeah, no power. So black. Black is our trigger wire with the key, and green right here, no. No ground. Okay. So we're looking for ground in that green wire. We'll trace that up. And should all these wires again, so we're confirming again that really all these green wires are connected together. So we're having a ground issue. So we're about to get out some of those jumper cables and make my own ground. So what I might do is, when I'm trying not to blow the system or blow the fuse, I'm gonna put jumper cables on the ground down here, and I'm just gonna touch it to this green system, right? I'm gonna and see, and it might all light up, and if it does, that means, hey, why aren't we having ground come through here? And it might be triggered, so the system's so retarded, you guys. So it's supposed to be when you turn the key, then that triggers that system. So it's terrible, you guys. These aren't even worth it. Like, only because this is for sale that I go like kind of this deep on these scooters. Otherwise, it almost is not cost effective. So we know, once again, this guy, we can take this out of here. Once again, our son of a bee right here, this green wire right here, coming from this plug, which may or may not be the same or different from all these other green wires. We know that one is supposed to have some sort of ground coming in. And why doesn't it? And like we traced it all down, we did trace this all down to here. We didn't see a problem down here. We're gonna take this off manually, and we're gonna clip it onto the battery. So we're gonna see if there might be a problem with it. Somehow there might be a problem with this wire. We might even just cut it raw again, and just put it on there raw onto the negative battery terminal and see. And this is the main wire for the whole system. So let's probably do that. I'm gonna close my garage door because it's freezing. Man. It's about 15 degrees or so we are making progress, but this is a son of a bitch. Yeah, I need the shop but's in the other part of the garage. I need to make a new one above the thing. Okay, so let's test our ground and see. Let's make a new ground. Make a new ground right here. Take out the main ground wire right here. Actually, that doesn't have a lot of ground on there. But that's painted. And that's pretty terrible. So what we're going to do is take a razor blade. We're going to scrape all the paint off. Because any ground connection should be metal to metal and not over paint. So let's do that. That's what I was afraid it would be terrible like that. So let's see what we got here. Try and get an angle here. Kind of difficult. I'm just going to scrape right here. There we go. Just scraping it down to metal. The whole area right there. Get to the okay, now that's pretty fresh metal right there. I wish I could grinded that a little more, but we'll see. We've got a little sandpaper here, maybe. Let's put put a little heavy grit on it. And a little piece of coarse grit. Let's sand the top of that a little bit. Perfect, there we go. We made our new ground, and that should be, that should be proper. So we'll put this thing back on there. Put the new ground in and see. But probably not an issue, but we gotta keep going through here and see. To start eliminating. Doing a process of elimination. Right here. No. Okay. Okay, no difference. And I guess, are we lit up over here? Let's see if we have any difference here. No, I'm just going to keep that hooked up like that. Alright, well this is a grade A pain in the butt. Payday grain in the butt problem. So we're going to manually do our own ground like I was telling you. Let's do that. We're going to clip on our own ground. But it should be getting its ground. Okay. Oh, I found an issue, guys. I found an issue. We got a cable missing here. A little ground cable. That's supposed to be going to something. That is probably the issue. Now, let's see. What is that missing from? Let's see if we can figure it out. It was right here. And it looks like it came back. It came back over here. It could ground to the motor, but the motor should already be grounded because it has this big bar and everything. It's hooked to the frame, but we might ground it to the top of the head here, to the motor. But we have a wire, loose wire that's supposed to be going to something. I don't see anything else that needs ground though. But let's hook that. Let's see. We're going to separate that. We're going to separate the main wire to the system. And we'll hook this back up here because we know this is good frame ground. And we know it's hooked to the battery. So we might hook to the head of the bike. But we have an unknown wire now. I don't remember pulling that off something. Okay, we got an unknown ground wire. Let's see what needs ground. We'll look around here. Anything obvious? Usually it's hooked though. Usually it's hooked to the head or something like that. But it could be a component. I can hold it there too. I can hold it on the head. I don't know. I don't see anything turning on. Oh jeez. Huh. Well, I don't see anywhere that would be. The starter has its wire. There's nothing critical, nothing else critical that would need this wire. It usually goes on the head, something like that. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna dry. Let's see. This here. Alright. So let's take off one of the head bolts. Here. No difference though. No lights. No turn signals. Let's see. Let's put more main system here. Main system's hooked up. Okay. Nothing. Oh, terrible. Horn though. Horn's good. Starter will still work. Yeah, our main lights are still out. Okay. So all we did was just kind of redo the grounding stuff, so make sure it's okay, but it's no effect. So still have an issue. Still have an issue somewhere. The surface on the main ground is all sanded, so it's all metal, touching metal, all good. I got the main one just connected right to the battery, so it has ground directly, so we still have nothing. The system's dead. The system's dead still. This is the switch you call a Chinese nightmare. Not really a big deal, because I can tie in my own stuff, but it's like, dang. If everything's perfect, you wonder, well, what went wrong? Why isn't half the electrical work then? And so, if we don't find it, then we just start running our own wires. Let me check chat. Don't be coming in here being nasty though. And no arguing about H-Tomb stuff, but if you guys want to talk about stuff, that's fine. Tomorrow be nice. Kato, what up, buddy? Good to see you, buddy. Tomorrow, you want to get banned from here? Tomorrow, do you want to behave or do you want to be banned? And I'm going to block you from my name too as well. No, this is not. This is a repair. This is not a flat earth. Did the title say flat earth meeting on there? I don't think it did. I think it said part 3 fixing a Chinese scooter. Right? Guys, check the title. Check the title. I believe it said part 3 fixing a scooter. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I like discussions. Maybe we'll do like a call in. We could do a call in, and the thing with the subjects like H tombs like to discuss religion or even like flat Earth. He can talk about it because and say anything because he's on stream, but I can only type so much. So I kept saying it's too much to type. You have to call in or you have to be on podcasts to talk about some of that stuff, you know. But I like to debate and we talk about all sorts of different things. But if you're just able to type and the other person can just talk, then that's not really fair. Yeah. This scooter's from H Tombs. But it ran good. I got it running, but it doesn't want to start. So it's got a couple issues. It's got an electrical issue, and then it doesn't want to start. But once it starts, it runs good and drives all around. So we're doing all sorts of different stuff. Right now, we're doing electrical work, and we made a little bit of progress, but we're finishing up kind of the testing on that. And then if we don't find an electrical issue, then we're going to have to start splicing on our own wires and creating our own electrical system. Which is like the worst case scenario, but... Oh, Tamara, too. I do have a 4-hour Flat Earth documentary on my channel. You could watch that. It's really good. It's from one of the top guys from Russian Vids, a guy called Russian Vids. But it's got a lot of info in there. You should watch that. You got to get like some basics and what do we got here? So let me get back here and see what's going on. PD, hey, thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, buddy, I've been wrenching a long time, so I like it. Hey guys, let me know if the sound's okay. I'm using my plug-in mic again. Hold on here. I'm using a plug-in mic, so if the sound doesn't sound good, let me know. Okay. All right, now we know. All right. We know that this yellow. Black, it's black. Those two we know the black is on black. We know the yellow, which is black, coming in here. So we know black is not grounding up here, which is our middle wire, which is here, and going back here. So it might be the black wire of the grounding system. Not grounding. We just checked the green. So we just checked the green wire right here. We manually put it on the battery. So everything we know is perfect here. Grounded to the head, grounded to the frame, grounded to the battery, and the entire ground for the system right here. But there's also a black wire grounded here too. So man, this is pain. We're almost. Oh, and it might be the ignition switch. So if it's the ignition switch right now, then all this is kind of useless, but we still want to go through this and still test this and see. So we got a black wire problem here. black wire ground coming into all this that should be grounding. It should be. Let me check which one it is. Double check one thing and then we'll try and figure this out then. But we have to eat time, you know. This is a sell for profit, so if I have to eat time on this, it doesn't matter, you know, whatever hours it takes. It's just a labor thing. The parts will be less than $50 for this bike, but it's the labor incredible. Which is fine. It's a free scooter, so that's fine. So, okay, check for power too as well. Okay. Power coming in, power off. Okay, power coming in and off. So that's black, but that's really black, and then that's power. Black is power, and the green we don't have. So the green system, we would check that. We might have to tie in our own. We did already, but we tied in. So that doesn't even make sense, guys. So basically what we've checked, so that doesn't even make sense. So this is the main power going to light this whole thing up. We verified. Good God, this is terrible. We verified the red and the black wire, which are constant power. The black wire here is switch on power, and the yellow should be ground. But the yellow turns into black here, right? And it goes in. So, man, we got to check the black system now too as well. But what is that hook to? That's in there. So we might try sending our own ground to this black wire. You guys see how terrible this is? This is not normal. This is not normal wiring. This is terrible. This is not normal. This is not how the rest of the world wires things. But it's a very interesting challenge though. Because you have to use all your functions to try and figure this stuff out and then to hack it. We're going to be tying wires into this ridiculous system too as well. Because things are not, we're not finding any issues anywhere. So we're going to have to create our own wiring in here pretty quick here. Let's check out, I'm going to take the ignition switch out and I'm going to take a look at that. Alright, here's our ignition switch. Let's take this out and let's take a look here. This may be our whole problem here, because look, this is supposed to be connected. Look, we had a whole bolt out here, so this whole thing's been moving. Look at that. That whole thing's been moving around. So I might have shorted something out, burned something out. Because that's supposed to be screwed in over here. It's right here. That's supposed to be screwed in right there and tied in. So this has been messing up right here. So we can pull this whole thing off and kind of take a look what we got. But I'm hoping this would be the culprit, but shoot. That'd be kind of lucky. I wish the free scooter had been a simple thing, but you know, sometimes that's how it goes. I'll come back. Hey, tomorrow I might ban you. Don't mess around. I told you. I can go into editing after this video's done and just delete all your chat. I don't need to it's not going to show up on the video. So, you know what I mean? If I just go in and post editing and ban you on that, or ban you now, none of it's going to show up on the video. So, do you need a ban? Because I told you to chill out. So I think we're just going to ban you. So would you like to say goodbye to chat forever? I'll give you a couple moments alone, chat. I told you we're not discussing the flat earth stuff. I mean, I'd like to be able to see you in chat someday, you know, but, you know, I will ban too, so it doesn't matter to me. But if you're gonna be nice, I might give you one last chance. We'll see. I'm gonna be back here. I'm gonna be back here working on this. Or maybe I'll be right here. I'm gonna be right here keeping an eye on you, Tamara. I'm just gonna look right here at the chat. Just keep an eye on you right here. Tamara, I can't let you know about the dragons. Shh. Imagine, I'm not gonna tell all the dragon secrets. Kato. Shh. Imagine, like, she don't even know nothing yet. Imagine I'm like gonna tell her all about the dragons. Like, yeah, right, girl. Girl, you've been gonna have to know me for at least a year, girl, before you been telling me all about them dragons. Shoot, you gotta at least be like a 3rd, 4th level flat earther to know about the dragon part. I didn't even tell you about them pterodactyls yet. Shoot, I bet you didn't know pterodactyls are still alive. Telling you, man. What if I'm fucking sailing across the Amazon on a pterodactyl and stuff? You'll believe me now. Hey, what if I got some pterodactyl IRL coming up? You never know. Okay, this is our key right here. Turn the key, turns this guy, but inside this plastic unit. Oh, something fell. Inside this plastic unit, it switches these wires. I think the problem's in here, dude. We're just gonna take this whole thing apart. Dude, I'm getting my own pterodactyl, is all I'm saying. I'm getting my own pterodactyl. Okay, so we've got the switch. I need to try and open the switch up a little bit here. Try and open the switch. Doesn't matter if this breaks, we'll have to get a whole new switch anyway, but we need to check it because it's potentially the whole problem. So we're gonna go kamikaze on this piece. We're gonna bust this piece open right here. Let's see if you can see that. So kind of these little tabs right here. Bust this little tab out. Remember, we're going kamikaze. I don't really care if any of this breaks because I'm gonna buy a new one, but still. There we go. So now we got this whole piece out. Kind of remember where it's at. So I'll remember that these two ones are lined up in this slot right here, kind of. So open it slowly. There's going to be a ball bearing and stuff in there too, so kind of carefully pry this open here. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, them... I don't really see an issue. So basically this guy looks like this. The key turns, there's little grooves right there. See those little copper grooves, and there's two little ball bearings here. So these ball bearings just go ding, they rotate on there, and they connect two different parts. So they go chink, and they connect to two pathways on there. But that thing's looking pretty dirty. So you may have to wipe this thing off. And maybe that there's just too much grease on there to make contact. So I doubt we're that lucky though. But let's go ahead and clean this piece up and do a quick reassembly. So that's what it looks like if it's clean. That's what it looks like clean. We'll put this piece back inside here. There's two ball bearings in there. Don't lose the ball bearings. Those are the things that touch the piece. Let's see here. Oh man, if I can get that in there. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Okay, that just rotates. It's fine. It's kind of got to line up right though. But I don't really know. I don't really know which way it went though. Let's see. So it turns. So it turns a little bit. I don't see any problem there. I don't know. Let's try and reassemble this a little bit. Okay, there's only one way it goes on here. So this post only goes on one way. So let's figure it out. Oh, I had it upside down. Okay. Alright, the post goes that way. Alright, it's only got one way it clicks on there. So there we go. Oh, am I missing something? No, I definitely am here. Uh-oh. Oh, am I doing this wrong? Oh my god, I already forgot. Let's see, like that. That goes down. Okay. Okay. What? Man, that's confusing me now. Shoot. That piece goes on like that. Doesn't make sense. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go back to my own video. That's so simple. Let's see here. That's supposed to go in there like that. But the ball bearings have to be up. But that doesn't fit on that post there. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'll have to go back to my own video. Huh, let me look. Okay, wait. No, that's right. That's right. Okay, the contacts are on the top. The ball bearings are just riding on stuff. Okay. Usually they use the ball bearings as a contact point, so the contact points are on top of here. Okay, so let's just pop that on there. Now remember this channel, we had the two brass right near there, so we know that we're popping on like right here or somewhere. right there. So it should fit in some sort of groove like right here. Let's see here. Oh, let's line this up. There it goes. We should be grooved up right here. Hold on, where's the other one? Where is the other one? I don't know. That doesn't seem right. Let's see here. Where's my light? Shoot, sorry. It was lined up. This was lined up over here. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Back in there, popped it in there. Okay. I didn't put the screw in. Now I'll put the screws back in there, and we'll see. Probably makes a little difference on there, but we'll just for shits and giggles. But we're gonna order a new ignition now. Probably $10. Because it's highly suspect at this point. I think that's stripped. That's stripped. Jesus. Yeah, that's probably stripped because remember it had one screw missing. It was flopped out there. Oh, it might be two. Okay, one's tightening, one's not. So that was the problem with this one anyway. We can keep this out. We don't need this. Spin that out of there. So it seems to be a functioning ignition again. We'll try it real quick. What a piece of junk. Reconnecting. Here we go. I love pterodactyls. Let's see here. Spring. No. Well, hopefully not. I don't think there was a spring in there. We went a little bit kamikaze on that, but it should be proper. Still suspect. Let's plug it in and see. Okay. Let's turn this thing on here. Oh, it's not. Okay. Off. No, okay. So it turns the bike on and off, but it still may not. It should though. It still may not be connecting the ground wire like it should be, which I think it connects the green to the black in there. So seems to be working, but slight chance it may not be. We're just gonna leave it off to the side there. We still don't have turn signals anywhere. Oh man. What is this? What is this? I think this is the turn signal relay right here. Let's see what we got here. Which makes it blank. Or it may actually make a popping sound so you hear the turn signal. We have no turn signals. Jesus. Keep on there. Still suspect, but man, what is going on with this bike? A mechanic did mess with this, did mess with this and mess things up, but the electrical hasn't been cut into. So this is typical Chinese scooter nightmare, even from like a brand new scooter. So we're still not, what I believe, we're still not getting ground to the black wire. Because in order for this thing to light up is the black wire coming in from right here. So to tie this or cut this open a little more, go in here and see. This is the main wire right here. Where is our black wire at? Why does it not have ground? It should be grounding. It could, like I said, it could be all right here. It might be, we might manually disconnect right here. And it should be, things are working though, see, man, it's terrible. Next, up. So no progress on that ignition switch. So our black comes back here. Let's see if we see anything back here. No black wire back here. We do have one in the brain. Oh, we might just replace the CDI, which is the brain of the bike. It's right here. We might switch that out for something else right now, because that also has a ground in there, inside the CDI, the black wire right here. So it might be a problem here. It might be the CDI as well, not giving it signal. So let's go back. We got a whole bag of these. Let's see what we got. Where is parts? So we got a whole bag of those CDIs. We literally have a whole bag of those, you guys. Look at this. Whole bag of those. I got orange racing one. I'm gonna try that. I got the blue. We're gonna try the racing CDI. So we'll try this one real quick. Pretty awesome. Cooling. The racing CDI makes it so that there's no RPM limit, and also makes it accelerate a tiny bit faster. But let's see what we got here. Let's take this off. Start trying that. I haven't replaced this CDI yet, so might be an issue. Okay, that's the stock one. Has a little light on it that should show when it's working. Okay, turn the scooter on. Still. Uh-oh, something's dead. Something's dead. Lost all power. So we lost all power again. Probably blew a fuse. Let's take a look. Probably blew a fuse here. What's going on? No, our fuse is good. What's going on? This might have stopped functioning altogether. Okay, the key is turning on. It's plugged in. We should have a horn right now. We should have horn, and we should be able to turn it over like we were before. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, we got power. The ground here, everything's good. Well, this CDI may not work either, so that may be the issue. Not all of them are compatible. Okay, that's weird though. We'll try a different one. Not all of them are compatible, and they should too, but not all of them are. So let's try a different one. Let's keep the one from the bike away from all of them. Because we're going to try ones that are identical. I got some identical ones here, and then we'll try another racing one, the orange one, and we'll see if that makes a difference. So let's bring over 2 more and see if we can make a difference here. We have a stock one, and we have another type of racing one. Pull the tab like that out. So let's try, well, we'll try a stock one. We'll try a stock one. Okay, stock one in, just hang it right there. Let's see. No, dude, what's going on? So we lost all power, but the fuse is good. Man. Am I missing something here? What? It was just working. The switch was working it. Let's see here. Nothing. Oh, no horn, no nothing anymore. Oh, geez. You know what we do with that? We'll go to the fuse in case the fuse blew. We're gonna bypass the fuse right now and just connect both things together. So just bypass the fuse right now, and I just have them touching together. Okay, so no fuse. That's not it. Okay. Oh, no horn. Okay, it must be, man, must be the switch or something. Nothing. Okay, so no, it's not the fuse then. So if that died like that easy, it shouldn't be. It's just a physical thing that moved. You know, it's just like fingers that move around like that. So if we just lost the other stuff, then maybe this is the entire problem. Because the ground system connects through this ignition switch too. So, I'll have to look up the diagram to hotwire this. So what I'll probably do is we'll order another ignition switch, but I'll cut these wires and just hotwire them together. So I'll just hotwire them like they would be when the key is on like that, and then we'll be able to tell if that's an ignition switch problem or if it's another nightmare somewhere else in the bike. So I'm about done with this switch here because we have no power anymore. We have no power anymore. Oh, oh shit, there we go, okay. Well, now we do. So, we know we've got a problem with the switch then. I'm gonna cut it out of the system here in a second. We have no turn signals. Oh, and we still can't start the bike. So, I'm about done with that. I'm about done with that. And now we have no horn. So, let's see here. Okay, so it's definitely, we're having contact problems in here. So what we'll do is, let's see here. This may never be good again. So we'll probably just cut these wires off and manually connect them. Because if that's failing like that, and this switch is back on perfect, if it's not going to work, then it's not going to work for the new person either. So this is probably the whole entire problem right there. And that's because the screw came out, and it might have springs. It might be missing the. Someone might have been in there. That mechanic might have been in there already. So someone was mentioning that might be missing the two little springs in there. It might be. Those are supposed to push those little things forward. Yeah. Oh, Kato, don't have to worry about it. The ignition switch is like $10, brand new. I'm gonna order one no matter what. So we're kind of just doing a kamikaze mission on the switch here. But let's take a look inside and see again. I'm getting a new one anyway, but I wanted to see this is where the failing point is. And then we will cut these wires. I'll have to look up the diagram and see which ones. So 2 of these touch and 2 of the other touch. So we'll find out which ones, and then we'll wire them together so that it's like the key is on, and then we'll eliminate. And if it doesn't work, if that doesn't work, then we know shit, it's not an ignition problem. But we're still getting a new one because this one's just doesn't connect good. And I'm doing suicide mission on it too, which is okay because it's only $10, so it's okay to do a suicide mission on it. Kamikaze mission, you know. Alright, let's pull this thing out a little bit. So I don't really care if I break it or not. But I'm trying to find if that's where the fail point in here. Oh, come on, get out of there. I'm just gonna break that part up if I don't have that come out. Man, this thing came out so easy last time. What am I missing here? Okay. What am I missing here? There it goes. Let me take a look. I believe they have the springs on them. Yeah. Okay, they have little springs on them. Let's see if I can see it. They're tight, both the springs. They're working, but you saw how it wasn't making good contact just on that power. So I think that's our issue. I think that is definitely our issue. That only goes on one way too. It only goes on one way in there, and then it rotates. You know, it rotates. This is like this. So we'll get a new one of those. But I'm gonna cut the wires off in the meantime, and we will find the diagram and hot wire it, so we can eliminate that. But we're buying a new switch for $10. we'll go ahead and cut these wires off here, kamikaze style. Let's get this piece off here. Don't need that. And then we'll just kamikaze that. So we'll figure these out tomorrow. So it'll be a common, I don't know which one. So it'll be like 2 of these and 2 connected together, and then we'll plug it in and it'll be like the key is on. We'll figure that out later. But that might be the whole issue. Right now we replaced the CDI with a brand new CDI. This is the original CDI over here. We'll keep that right here so we don't confuse that with the new parts. But it's probably done for testing for tonight. We're gonna need a new ignition. I'm gonna need to look up a diagram of the 4-wire ignition. Need a diagram to show me. These are pretty universal, so I'll be able to look up and see which two connect to each other. You know, is it those two and those two? Which ones are supposed to be connecting together so that it can start? So we'll see, but it may not even be an issue. So if that's not the issue, then we need to trace that other black wire going into the system and make our own ground. So I have to either find out where that black wire goes. It looks like it goes back to the CDI, to the little black box. Is where that's created. So we might send our own ground to that black wire. Because on this, remember this coming in this whole headset. Remember we tested that. We have power, 2 power wires going into that we tested functioning right. So that only leaves the ground. Right, so that's the black wire coming out, going into here. The black wire and the main harness going back, which should go back to the CDI, which may be just one black wire going back to the CDI, but then the CDI is supposed to get ground and give it its own ground. Probably the CDI probably connects that green wire to that black wire. So the black wire comes back, but then the CDI connects those two to one of these green wires, and that might be failing. So it might be one of the green wires coming in here failing. This is brand new, so this should work right here. So if it's not, that means that one of the green wires coming in that's supposed to be the ground, and the black is not coming in. So it's like, all right, well, why not? Where's that? Where's that issue? Ridiculous. Try not to tear the entire harness open, but we're pretty much all the way there. We have every single piece of this bike off and the entire harness ripped apart right now. Pretty much everything open. So we know this is culprit right here. We know this black wire in here. We need to find where it goes, what it's connected to. I'll probably cut this all open up here, so we can see it. We can see into here and see what's up. It might be that black wire is tied into a green wire in there. So we need to find out where the ground is going on this bike and why it's not grounding. I'll be finished for testing tonight. It's just a maniac to repair electrical 102, I guess. Yeah, so, okay. We'll wire in the ignition tomorrow. figure out the black wire that's going back. It's coming back here. The only black wire coming to the back here is the one going to the CDI. So I think, so we're believing that the CDI sends a signal to that. Or it might be a power wire. It might be another power wire that's going into that. But there's two already in there, but who knows? So that black wire, we know, should be doing something because we tested the other two. So it's retarded, but that could be a power wire even though it's black. Retarded. So that's suspect. Black wire is suspect. And we only see it coming back to here. Unless we gotta dig open this harness here and look and see that if it changed to another color. So we might do that right now, cut open it. We gotta be real careful of not cutting other wires though. We'll just cut that a little bit open and then probably call it a night. Just cut that like that. This open. I was hoping we'd make a little more progress on electrical, but it's just a nightmare. That's how it is. Okay, got a big old tangle mess in here. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Okay, so we're looking at all our wires here. Just ripped it all open. Alright, it's another big piece. Okay. Kind of see what we got. A bunch of stuff tied in here. Let's look what we got for the black wire. So we know. So we know we have an issue on the black wire coming in from this plug. So we're looking in here. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, let's try and get it untangled a little bit. But what do we got? So we got the black wire here coming through. Where does it go? It goes down here. Okay. And it's connected to a bunch. So we have a black wire here connected to a bunch of black wires. So it looks like a ground and it goes into a single. So it's a bunch of black wires, goes into a single wire. It looks like, and it goes all the way back. Okay, good to know. So probably a ground. It should be ground because it's black, but the Chinese, they could have made it a power wire. So good to know. So it went into a bunch, but it retains to one black wire and it goes back. So it should be able to, unless it comes out of here somewhere, which, no, we don't have any black wire, and it should not change, but it could. The Chinese may be messing with you and they change that black wire into a different color somewhere. So, but we're assuming that that one black wire is coming back here and we're looking for it. I don't see it come out here anywhere. Well, there is one right here. There's one black wire, but it's alone. This is kind of a test plug. But we may, if we don't find it, we may have to cut this black wire off right here and make our own ground. So I don't see it there, but it comes back here. Comes back here. We've got this whole harness. We have no other black wires coming back here. And this is all the turn signals, the brake light, all that stuff. We have this. We have a trigger switch for the fuel tank. Nothing else. So nothing else black wire comes back here except to the CDI. So that sucks because we put the new CDI on and it still didn't work. So it looks like our problem either is at the CDI here or at the ignition switch. And we did verify that it was acting funny. Not you saw live how we turned the switch. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And then the entire system failed. And you saw that that was turning. The little things turn on there. On those are little copper pads. And so they turn on there and then they connect those pathways. So we're having a failure there for sure, verified. So we're gonna wire it up manually tomorrow. Like I said, we're just gonna connect the wires manually as if the key were turned on, and we hope that's the problem right there. Shoot. If not, then at that point we have to manually start cutting our own wires in. If that's not the issue, then we have to manually cut our own wires in. We find out what wire turns power on when we turn the key on, which we know, and then we start sending that to stuff. So we send it to the backlight, we send it to the low beam of the headlight, and then we figure out what wire. We open this thing up, we figure out what wire powers the turn signals here. Because basically a power wire comes up, powers the turn signal, and then you hit this way and it blinks. And you hit it that way, it blinks. But there's one power wire coming up to this guy, and we'll make our own. I had to do it on the last scooter. So we'll bring our own power wire up to this guy so that we have turn signals, because we don't have any turn signals. So this thing's being such a son of a bee, but we're gonna fix all of it. And if we have to hack wire it, we'll do it and we'll make it work. So, but yeah, worst case scenario on the wiring, we will force it to work. But holy moly, like, that's just ridiculous. What is going on here? So I think we're done. Let's see. Anything else to do here? To do any more, we need to make our switch. So we need to figure out which of these is supposed to connect and hook that into the system so that we have the key on. We can't do any more testing because we have to make sure that it's in a key on position to test everything, and so we can't until we have this. So we're stopped now until we do that. So we'll continue on tomorrow. And so if we hot wire the key ignition and that doesn't work, then that means we're going to tie in our own wires. We're going to get out the wire and we're going to tie our own wires in and make stuff work. But we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. But that's how Chinese stuff is. It's the only stuff in the world you have to do that. It's ridiculous. Everything else works. Everything else has a standard wire, universal wiring, and it doesn't have problems. But man, Chinese stuff. Look out, dude. This is why we have this scooter, because the mechanic couldn't figure it out. But he did all sorts of other crap he didn't need to, but he couldn't figure out the basic system of this, and because it's a nightmare. You have to literally wire you have to literally wire new wires in, which we're going to do. It's easy. We're only going to wire 2 wires. We're going to send power to the running light system, and then we'll send power to the turn signals if they don't work. So we got this, you guys. We got this. But I guess that's it, you guys. Let me take a quick look at the scoots. Kind of burnt out too. I'm kind of done on this tonight. And we need the key. We need the ignition on so that we can continue testing the system. So I have a feeling that's not going to be the problem. And this thing's just a big son of a gun. So that's okay. We deal on that. We deal on that. But we did find we did find a broken taillight bulb, so that is one issue. So maybe that will work, and that'd be nice. But the rest of the stuff, no worky, no worky tonight. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for coming out, checking out the chat. We're going to pick it up tomorrow. I don't think I'm doing Friday night spooky stories tonight. I went to the dentist yesterday, and I got a root canal. My tooth is hurting right now too, and I got to talk kind of weird, so my teeth don't chatter together. But probably take a break tonight from the spooky stories, and we'll pick it up next week. But anyway, thanks you guys. But I'm just gonna be IRLing anytime and trying to go live every day. But peace. I'm out of here, you guys.